So, as you know, yesterday was the wedding anniversary of Harry and Meghan. And the Daily Mail, they do what they usually do best. They deploy one of their most virulent and bitter, reporters or whatever she calls herself, Jan Moi. And she decided to write a scathing article about the fact that Meghan shared lots and lots of images of the wedding that we hadn't seen before. And she also shared this really, really incredible and cute video. But anyway, so the Daily Mail decided to publish Jan Moi's column about Meghan's anniversary Instagram posts, and they call the post an invasive picture dump. Yes, invasive. As if Meghan literally took them by the collar and forced them to watch, and forced them to look at her Instagram.
So, as we all know, yesterday marked the wedding anniversary of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And honestly, the reaction from certain corners of the British media has been one of the funniest meltdowns I have seen in a very long time. Because Meghan shared a beautiful collection of unseen wedding photographs and personal memories on Instagram, and instead of simply scrolling past like normal people, the Daily Mail decided to act as though this was some kind of international crisis. So they sent out one of their regular Sussex critics, Jan Moi, to write this dramatic article attacking Meghan for posting photos from her own wedding on her own anniversary on her own social media account. And I'm sorry, but the logic completely falls apart the moment you examine it for more than 5 seconds. The article described Meghan's post as an invasive picture dump. Invasive. Now please explain to me how a woman posting photographs from her own life onto her own Instagram account is somehow invading anybody. Nobody was forced to look at those pictures. Nobody was dragged onto Instagram against their will. Nobody had their privacy violated. In fact, if anything, Meghan was exercising control over her own narrative and her own memories, which is exactly what privacy is supposed to mean. The Daily Mail then went even further and claimed that the anniversary photos were some kind of crafty marketing strategy designed to remind commercial partners that Harry and Meghan are royal. I'm sorry, but this is where the argument becomes completely ridiculous. As though Netflix executives suddenly woke up and said, "Wait a minute, Meghan married Prince Harry? Why did nobody tell us?" Everybody already knows who they are. The royal connection is not hidden information. It is one of the most globally recognized relationships in modern history. Harry was born a prince. Meghan married him in front of billions of viewers. Nobody needs reminding. And honestly, the contradiction in all of this is absolutely incredible, because the same newspapers accusing Meghan of monetizing these images immediately reproduced all the photographs themselves, every single one, full galleries, slideshows, articles, advertising revenue, reader engagement, clicks. So let me understand this properly. According to them, Meghan posting her own wedding photographs is cynical and commercial. But the Daily Mail reposting those exact same photographs to generate traffic and ad money is somehow noble journalism? Please, the hypocrisy is actually breathtaking. And then they started doing this strange thing where they accused Harry and Meghan of invading their own privacy. Again, I genuinely need somebody to explain how that sentence even makes sense. Privacy does not mean never sharing anything ever again. Privacy means having control over what you choose to share. That is the entire point. Harry and Meghan never said they wanted to disappear from public life completely. They said they wanted boundaries. They wanted safety. They wanted the ability to decide what parts of their lives became public and what parts remained private. That is a perfectly normal human expectation. And honestly, a wedding anniversary is exactly the kind of moment people naturally share personal memories. Millions of couples post wedding photos every single year. The only difference here is that Harry and Meghan's wedding happened on a global stage. And let's also address this nonsense about the no-camera policy at the wedding, because Jan Moyer tried to frame that as some sort of contradiction too. No. That is standard practice at high-profile weddings. Completely standard. Guests are often asked not to take personal photos because the couple has hired official photographers whose job is to professionally document the event. That is not hypocrisy. That is event management. The photographs Meghan shared were not leaked images. They were not secret paparazzi shots. They were professionally commissioned wedding portraits from their own archive that they themselves chose to release 8 years later. That is entirely different. And honestly, what really seems to bother certain people is not the photos themselves. It is what the photos represent. Joy, love, survival. Because after everything Harry and Meghan have been through, after years of attacks, briefings, smears, lawsuits, and predictions that their marriage would collapse, they are still here, still together, still deeply in love. And those photographs reminded people of that reality. You can literally see it in Harry's face, in those images. The emotion, the relief, the love. Meghan walking down the aisle with confidence and dignity despite all the chaos surrounding her family situation at the time. Those photos captured something genuine, and I think that authenticity is exactly why people connected with them so strongly in the first place. Meanwhile, Jan Moyer also tried to create drama by pointing out who was not visible in the photos. Thomas Markle was not there. Certain royal relatives were not highlighted, and somehow we are supposed to interpret that as evidence of emptiness in Harry and Meghan's lives. No, what I saw was a couple celebrating each other. Because, believe it or not, wedding anniversary posts are usually about the couple. Not extended family politics, not palace drama, not media narratives, just the couple themselves. And the reality is that Harry and Meghan clearly do have family around them. They have their children. Meghan has her mother Doria. Harry remains close to members of the Spencer family. They have long-time friends and professional circles that clearly support them. But even beyond that, what mattered most in those photographs was the connection between Harry and Meghan themselves. That is what people responded to. Not controversy, not gossip, love. And this is the part I find funniest of all. The British tabloids constantly insist that Harry and Meghan are irrelevant, unpopular, boring, and finished. Yet, the moment Meghan posts a wedding anniversary slideshow, the entire media ecosystem erupts into 20 different articles, opinion pieces, reaction videos, debates, and outrage cycles. Because deep down they know something very important. Harry and Meghan still drive attention. They still generate engagement. They still dominate conversation. And 8 years later, people are still emotionally invested in this relationship, whether they admit it or not. So honestly, if the Daily Mail truly wanted privacy for Harry and Meghan, they could simply stop writing about them. But they won't, because the Sussexes sell, and they know it.